Alan, to her pronouns. I look like my partner's life to embedded computing. I'm my answer. And when I'm not behind some kind of computer, you can find me in the first robotics field. I am a 9-year robotics coach, working with FTC and FRC. I'm hoping to get into that this year. So thank you so much for that great intro. Because I not know how to do this. But for this seminar, for this quick flash lightning talk, I'm going to talk to you about something that's super passionate because I love supporting women in STEM, in which this has been a really good tool. So at Booz Allen, aside from my day-to-day job, I also am a deputy program manager for women engineering and science and working with women in AI, in which hype session was born. A hype session is tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay, so when we think about that, we kind of, right? Everyone struggles with it, no matter how much they practice their elevator pitch. I practice my elevator pitch and they'll get confused. But this is a little twist on tell me a little about yourself. And this is something that I want you guys to do even with your teams. It's a great icebreaker for work, with your teammates. It's called a hype session. Hype someone up. I actually would recommend doing this throughout the season because as anyone knows, the season is stressful. And something they need a break. Also to give yourself kudos. Sometimes our teammates don't even know how good they're doing, right? In the middle of the season. So what is a hype session? A hype session helps participants understand the importance of identifying and communicating their own strengths and core hype words. So we're going to do the hashtag hype women, hashtag hype person for this presentation because the key, it's a twist because it's a workshop and you can do it between 3 people or up to like 40 as you do virtual in person. And this is how it works. It's highly interactive. This is not you telling someone to go sit in the corner, okay, tell me a little about yourself. No, it doesn't work like that. We're hyping each other up. We're hyping each other in this workshop. So there's 4 parts to this run of the show for our hype session. The first one is describe your brand. So this is the first generation of hype session. Please feel free to contact me and I'll give you the updated version of it. You're gonna list 3 technical skills and 1 technical challenge. And again, this is your brand. After you do that individually, you're going to go to step 2, which is your listening ear. You're going to pair people up and ask, so people get kind of stuck on the technical part, right? What does technical mean to you? And that's also discussed here in the hype session. Because again, you're creating that speech. You're not creating it, someone else is creating it for you. So step number 2 is listening ear. And listening ear, when you pair up, one person's going to talk, and then one person's going to listen. And then you're going to switch. And what they're doing is they are going to write what they're hearing from you. And so number 3, we're going to come back together. You're going to share the hype. And finally, self-reflection. Because I think reflection is super, super important when it comes to hearing about who you are and your hype. So that is the run of the show. If we go to the next page, I have some examples. So my favorite is this. I think it works best if someone can help me read this. Can someone read the top right box on the left-hand side, starting with Morgan is passionate. Someone read that out loud? Sure, it'd be great.
You want the whole box or
yeah, the left-hand side, not the right one, the left one.
Okay. Morgan, the speaker, shares technical skills assisting WDS sponsorship team, helps plan meetings for a project team, coding skills for metrics. Passion, empowering women in her community. Her peers, the listening ear, initial summary. Morgan is passionate about empowering women in her community. She is assisting the WDIBS sponsorship team, helping plan meetings for a project team. She joined the firm a couple months ago and is already handling so much for the team's effort. She has great coding skills and can set up metrics easily.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So that's okay, right? But that was someone else like initially writing her hype basis off of those technical skills she wrote and that passion for technical challenges she had. Now let's hype it up, right? So if we're going to hype it up, we're going to say, Morgan brings all of herself to her passion as a data scientist, an essential member of her project team, regularly coordinating client meetings. She joined the firm a couple months ago, blah, 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 integrated for the members, blah, blah, blah. She created metrics, yada, yada, yada. That sounds better. right? That sounds much better. So in this hype section, we have words to avoid, which consists of you try to use using aid, assist, deal, enhance, gain, etc. That's what the bottom left one is. And why is that? We're avoiding these words because there's a difference, and especially for motivating and hyping women up, we're often described as kind and organized and empathetic, right? Yeah. Yeah. In which we have power verbs. I didn't print out the whole list of power verbs because those are 7 pages long. But they're categorized into 4 different categories. There's power verbs for people, data, things, and ideas. And again, please email me. I'll send you the full packet. So you're going to do the breakout rooms. Then after you run, and by the way, this goes by fast. Like, you don't realize how much time has passed when you're in breakout rooms and listening to probing people, and then come back. Now I find I've done this about 20 times. I've left 20 plus hype sessions, from the mini hype sessions or 4-hour workshop. And this part is one of my favorite parts. It's the pure sponsorship and action. You have 1 minute to share your hype with the rest of the people. Now, when you hear someone else talk about you, it makes it so warm. You're in awe because you're like, I can't believe I did this. Like, because when we're in the rut, right? When we're in the engineering or anything, your day-to-day job, sometimes you don't come up for air to realize how extraordinary you really are. And that's, again, what hype session is all about. So when I get my feedback, this is actually the best kind of feedback, is like the aha moment. Now, as the other person really listening in on what's being said by you, that now you can take and put it to your, tell me a little about yourself. That's the full circle here with hype session. So again, not you just writing down by yourself, because that's really hard to do, but a workshop where you hear someone, you feel your kudos, you give something back, it hypes everyone up. And then finally, the self-reflection. I really like this one question that's in the reflection, and I hope it resonates with you guys too. How do the list of strengths, this is question number 3 in reflection, how do the list of strengths you listed at the beginning of the workshop reconcile with what your partner shared about you? And I think that's super powering when you hear someone talk about like what you thought was painful, what you thought was hard, and put it into words that you now can share. And I think that's time for me. This is a hype session in 15 minutes. I have so much to say about it. Please email me and I'll know what I wrote about.
That was.
Thank you.